Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. This is going to be very, very interesting. So one of you guys tipped me off to the fact that there's actually a $25 record player at Five Below. Again, now we reviewed a $25 record player a couple of years ago. Turned out to be quite a popular video. But they have another one. Not only is it a record player that's supposedly fully functional for 25 bucks, but it's a vertical turntable, $25? Can this even be real? I'm going to try and stay positive, keeping this motto in mind. Anyway, you're not going to want to miss this. This is not it, but I have it still. I love this thing, actually. This is the Cool Geek one. Significantly more expensive than the one we're looking at today, and I'm sure much higher quality. That being said, I do love the form factor and the idea of a vertical record player. This is the one we're reviewing today. This is the Bass Jacks brand vertical record player from Five Below. Now, the previous Five Below $25 record player we reviewed a few years ago has become one of the most popular videos we've ever done, surprisingly. Also, I wanted to mention that we are giving away a bunch of record players and things this Christmas throughout the month. So if you haven't plugged into our Vlogmas episodes, definitely want to do that. In fact, we're about to give away the first turntable tomorrow. So if you want to find out how you might be able to win, definitely check out those videos. I bought this from their website. I guess it's not in stores. You have to buy it from their website. It was 25 bucks, and I think I paid like $9 for shipping. There's the look at this thing. Look at this. Why is there no hole in it? Oh, there is. Oh, I see. You have to punch. Like, it's kind of okay. All right. That is the cheapest platter mat I have ever seen in my life. Definitely the cheapest felt platter mat in existence. And of course, I pick a day to film where my lawn guy is here again. Also, I've never seen a platter mat where you have to punch your own hole. Looking in the top here, we've got the owner's manual, a cord, a USB-C, I'm surprised, and plastic holding it in on one side, styrofoam on the other. The turntable itself. You know, this may really fit the bill for somebody, so I'm going to really try not to be overly critical. I think it's fun. I mean, I'm always about, let's have fun. Let's not get too serious about it. I mean, we're just talking about spinning pieces of plastic. Anyway, it's not like we're saving the world. And why not have fun with it? It's all about the tactile interacting with your media experience. So, if we could do it in a fun way. A vertical turntable is not necessary, but it could be fun. It could be acceptable. This could be as good as any other, ceramic all-in-one type of system and do it in a different way. So it's got a bit of weight to it. I've noticed a lot of products that are on the very, very low end tend to look unfinished. You know what I mean? Like there's no silver plating, coloring. Obviously it would be plastic at this price point, but there's no attempt to make it look like super finished. It just kind of looks like a part that would go inside something else, doesn't it? So it's all black plastic. This is actually textured though. Look how long that tone arm is. So I'm hopeful that maybe this could actually play transcriptions. Maybe this can fit a 16-inch record. Wouldn't it be funny if you don't know the ability to play a 16-inch record is something that traditionally costs many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to find a transcription disc player. So if this literally can do it, albeit at a lower quality, but if it could even play a 16-inch record, it would be asinine. For $25? For 25 bucks. This is 25 bucks. This is less than the cost of a dinner out. At the bottom, so plastic, no surprise. There's 4 screws kind of hold everything together. It's got legs, not unlike the other vertical turntable we reviewed. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link to it down below. And yeah, so that's the bottom side. On the back, we've got a 5-volt USB-C jack. I'm not sure if this has a battery or not. Don't be alarmed. This is apparently designed to go up and down. It hinges. The back has 3 foam pads. This is a kind of a smooth fingerprint magnet-y. It's not totally smooth. It's a bit of a texture. Foam pad down there. And look, we do have trim pots for the motor speed. That's impressive that they would even drill those holes for us. And then that tells us too that the motor, makes sense, is in the platter assembly. I kind of like how chunky this platter assembly is. Looks like we have a socketed ribbon cable holding this in, and then there's a tab right there that snaps into place when it's in the vertical position. And like the other vertical turntable, this does it does kind of lean back just a hair, which will surely help with the gravity needed to track the record player in that position. Belt drive turntable, you can see through there. You would think that by having a vertical turntable, you would save a bunch of depth. Now this one is not too deep, but it's not like it's so narrow that it's gonna, be super space saving. Regular record player may go out to here. The other one was almost as deep as a full record player. So far I've noticed it's definitely more of a styling aesthetic than an actual space saver. Looking at the front of this, we have 2 speakers. They call them dual speakers. I don't know if it's stereo or not, but at this distance it just wouldn't matter. It's so close together. I'm not going to expect much out of those speakers. That being said, could be totally adequate for casual listening. This tone arm is wild because it is a similar type to what you see in a suitcase player or an all-in-one, but it's longer. And that's a consistent thing that I'm noticing with these vertical players. And the mechanism here, so it's like a plastic lift shelf. It's got a little clip, but it looks like it's stored, and we're going to find out in a minute, in sort of a out-of-the-way position. So I'm really curious if this thing is going to play 16-inch discs. There's no, movement on this at all. This is very rigid. That's actually really nice. And then there's another rest down here. It just kind of snaps into position and then rotates up like that. No huge surprise. We're dealing with a ceramic cartridge here, holding this felt mat behind it to keep the focus. But yeah, it features a metal cantilever. It's okay to have a lower quality record player in your life. You just have fun. You know what I mean? It could be an extra one. It could be your only one. It just depends. Now, I want to point out another thing that's common to these is this little screw-on piece in the middle here. This one is plastic, but let's go ahead and unscrew this here and I'll show it to you. So it's like a metal fitted thread on the inside of this plastic knob. So when you put the record on there, it sort of acts as a clamp. And that's the essence of it. I want to talk briefly about these controls down here. So similar controls to what we have on an all-in-one, but in a different place, obviously. So this is a on and off volume knob. And this is speed, 2 speeds. So it only does 2 speeds. Does not do 78. And that's okay because 16-inch transcriptions are 33 RPM usually. And then this is the auto stop on and off as well. And right here we've got a play pause as well as a forward and back skip. So that tells me that the Bluetooth connection is most likely an inbound Bluetooth connection. So this can act as a Bluetooth speaker. And also I want to point out too that these holes here are where the rubber nubs would normally be on this type of a platter. And they're omitted in this case. So that's why you would want to put this, even though it's super thin, to give your record a little bit of protection. And speaking of records, we are going to be listening to some tracks here from A Holly Dolly Christmas. I love this album, and it's pressed on a white disc. So we're going to go ahead and place our record there and put on this screw-on knob here. Taking a look down here in the bottom left, I'm thinking maybe we have enough room for a 16-inch disc. Obviously, this is a 12-inch record. Okay. I mean, it looks cool. And I still think this is fun. I really like the idea of a vertical turntable. They're not necessary. They're not the best. I get it. But they're fun. They are fun. All right. No cueing lever. We literally... Oops. I can feel it pulling in. I wonder what the tracking force is on this. We'll have to test that. I feel like substantial amount of pull on that. I wonder how much tracking force. So that's spring loaded for sure. Oh, there is a cueing lift. We saw that earlier. And interesting, they put a little rubber sleeve on the tone arm itself. Look at that. So instead of rubber lining the lift shelf, the actual tone arm has a little rubber sleeve. And boy, does it lift far away from the record. Look how far away from the record. Oops, right there. Look how far away from the record it is. And then let's see how the descend is. It's not damped at all. Okay, let's plug it in. That should do the trick. So, all right, she's spinning. We'll test the downforce, the speed accuracy, and all that stuff. But I wanted to do a basic functionality test. Okay, hello. Good grief, that just snapped down. I'm going to be really careful this time with lowering the stylus. Slowly. I want to and cool it down. No, that's not Dolly. That is, in that case, Michael Bublé. She has a number of duets. This tone arm, even with the rubber lift shelf, wants to slide over to the right. That's kind of frustrating. So, like, even with that rubber, it just wants to keep going down, which is a bit annoying. So there's no anti-skate on this whatsoever. It's going to be totally without that feature. Whoa, it's hard to cue with the cueing lever. You have to kind of do two hands. Oof. Like you put the tone arm over here and it just falls down to the right. So you know it's pushing like that in the groove as well. And then when you pull up on the cueing lever, you can hear it go skidding across the grooves. Definitely not the highest end player, but again, $25. It's making sound off of a record in a vertical fashion. All right, moment of truth. That is a 16-inch record. Is this really going to fit? Wow. I actually had my doubts.
Frankie Carl, Columbia recording #1, featuring the maestro, the rhythm section, and honeysuckle roller.
I'm flabbergasted. $25 transcription disc player. It's like the motor can't turn the disc. Oof, that sounds rough, dude. That's rough. Yeah, you can hear the motor like yang, yang, yang. Struggling, which is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and drop. This is dusty. Sorry, the record was a bit dusty. Didn't help things. Here, let's try again. Let's go right here. It's just too heavy. You can really see by contrast how much smaller a 12-inch record really is. All right, I'm going to clean off this stylus just to be on the safe side. And we should be good to go. I'm going to test the other side of this record a little bit. We already know it doesn't sound the best, but let's give it another listen here.
Been a long time gone. Nothing like the family and friends.
Yeah, it's... man.
You can have your Tennessee Christmas.
Definitely the motor just isn't strong enough to deal with that larger record. I wonder if that could be rectified.
After and in the storm.
It also should be noted that this thing does not have any audio outputs, no headphone jack, no nothing. So if you are getting this, you're purely listening through the little speakers, which sound, as you heard, pretty tinny. And yeah, it's I mean, this is going to be a novelty, I think. I was hoping that maybe it would be a very sort of basic way to play the transcription discs. But unfortunately, that motor is just too weak. Now, maybe you could upgrade it. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and test out the Bluetooth, and then we'll run a speed test and tracking force test. Pressing and holding. The heck? Is that a radio? this thing have a radio? I don't remember seeing anything. It does have FM. Wow. Okay, so you can literally scan. Long press scan button 2 secs to scan and save FM channel. All right, so we're going to scan FM channels.
It's redefining extraordinary by
3 FLZ.
I'm actually surprised. The speakers are better than I thought. This might actually be a decent Bluetooth speaker as well. Let me try to get over to Bluetooth mode.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Children, listen to hear.
Okay, checking tracking force now. This ought to be interesting. It really felt like it was pulling down significantly. So let's go ahead and see what this thing is doing to our records. This is hard to do. Yeah, it pegs out. So it's over 5 grams. Let's go ahead and say that the tracking force was pretty high. And I'm going to change the lighting situation here. And we'll take a look and see how the speed is. Okay, so the band on the left is 33 RPM. And as you can see, it is marching a bit upwards. And that means that it's a bit fast. And it's actually not terribly fast, but it is fast. If I switch to 45 RPM, the middle band, you can see is also fast, not quite as much as the other. The good news is, though, there is good news. You can adjust the speed with those trim pots. Okay, final thoughts. $25, $25. Keep that in mind. As a record player, it's not very good. It doesn't sound good. I don't think the impedance is properly matched. The way I could tell that is the fact that the speakers sounded good over Bluetooth. They sounded good with the FM radio that is included. It's kind of a surprise. It's probably all over the box. I just didn't notice it. So sound-wise, it makes for a decent Bluetooth speaker and FM radio. But it's not from a visual standpoint, it's clearly, designed around the record player aspect of it. I think that it's a fun novelty. I would still like to have one of these, not as a primary setup by any means, but as a secondary, something to play with, something to, show family members. And, I could see kids being interested in this. It'd be a fun way to display a record. If you had a Zoetrope record, it'd be fun to play a Zoetrope record on there. Also, another use case for this is still this. Now you may be saying, well, the motor couldn't even spin it. $25. Now the motor is like a 75-cent part, right? You can import another, you can get another one. You can put a better motor on there. If you can tinker, if you know electronics, obviously this would avoid any warranty, and I'm not recommending you do it, but for a $25 investment and an upgrade to the motor and some fiddling and some tinkering, you could possibly make a decent transcription disc player. And that's so huge because any other transcription disc player is typically, $1,000 plus. So the fact that you could even get close for $25 is astonishing. So my end recommendation is novelty for the most part, but it does have some interesting possibilities. All right, my friends, that's going to do it. An interesting product to be sure. So yeah, let me know, like I said, in the comments down below, if you would ever consider buying this. What would be the use case that you can think of for it? It's fun. It's definitely fun to play around with anyway. So I wanted to reiterate a couple of things. So we are doing the Vlogmas shows on this channel with bonus content over on Mrs. Record-ology's, aka Rain's Place channel. And there's links down in the description. And I would encourage you to check that out, not just for the Christmas fun that we're having, but also for the fact that we're giving away record players, turntables, and other prizes all throughout the month. And I don't want you to miss out on possibly being able to win something. So in order to do that, you got to watch that content. We tell you all about how to do it. In fact, we're about to send out our first turntable here later this week. So I'm excited for that. And we've got just so many things going on right now, both Christmas related and otherwise. And we're just glad to have you along for the journey. We have a special Vlogmas t-shirt. I put a post on the community tab earlier that has a discount code 10% off if you want to cash in on that. And don't forget our merch. It's a good time for buying gifts for our loved ones as we approach the holidays, and there's a lot of cool Record-ology branded merch there as well. Of course, our 45 adapters in our eBay shop. There's a lot of things going on right now. Mostly, I just want to say I'm thankful and grateful for you because we're going to have a lot of fun this month, and I've got some surprises coming your way that's going to blow your mind. A lot of products that need to be reviewed. This is the place to be around the holidays, right here at Record-ology. But that's going to do it for today. So happy record hunting, and we will see you next time.